Call Allah, Wahawa, La Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Basham Hakwadash, the abundance of the elder apostles, the great millstone, rule well, and who have taught us knowledge. Salutations to you, fellow laborers out there. Let's doing the work of truth, sincerity. Shalom to you. Shalom to the few Wakwaf that believe as well. This is a quick hit video on the word stranger. All right, so dealing with the word stranger, which, of course, Isaiah, the 14th chapter, which is future prophecy, which haven't taken place yet. And so, dealing with the word stranger there and comparing it to the word stranger in other precepts. All right, so let's deal with the word stranger. And the Lord willing, this video is edifying, by the way. Going to the Hebrew. I got the blue letter pulled up, so let's get into it and see if the words are the same and do they match up. From being a stranger that is a foreigner of Israel, or a foreign Israelite. Sorry, and comparing that to an actual stranger, someone that is not of the stock of Israel, an actual stranger or Gentile. So, well, let me read it first, Salaki. Let me click on it. It says, Isaiah 14:1, it says, "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob." So, right there it mentions the word strangers. And so, wacky-tacky Christians and theologians, they always say, see, strangers right there. See, it says strangers. Those are not actual strangers. Now, on the blue letter, when you look up the word stranger, there's a different word there in the word garar. You got gabayar, and you have it's gawar. It's like it. I think it's gawar and gara or gawayar. Or we're gonna see when I go to it. I'm gonna click on it. All right, I'm gonna click on that word. But I may be pronouncing it wrong. So this is the word strangers right here. And at the top it says gara. It says root word. Right? It says the root word is gawa. So, and that's the ra on the end. So gawar from the root word, right? Which I'll click on that too. But it says outline of biblical usage: sojourner, a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer lacking inherited rights, a foreigner, or foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. So first, let's deal with this word conceded rights, because it says conceded rights, right? So let's deal with that. We're going to deal with that. So this is conceded on Google, and it says, admit that something is true or valid after first denying or resisting it. Kind of like when you relate to someone and they have an inheritance, and you're the descendant of that individual or individuals that have passed away, and you claiming their property or belongings or possessions, inheritance. You have to prove that you are a descendant or related. All right. It says surrender or yield something that one possesses. So completely yield, right? So yeah. So if someone could prove that they, in other words, someone can actually prove that they have a valid or true claim to something, then you would go through the process of acknowledging or admitting or accepting that this person is or individual is a relative or descendant of one. So back on the blue letter. Let's go to the root word. It says gawar, to sojourn, abide, dwell in, dwell with, remain, inhabit, be a stranger, be continuing, surely, to sojourn, dwell for a time, to abide, stay temporarily, dwell, to seek hospitality, with, assemble oneself, to stir up trouble, strife, quarrel, gather together, to stir up strife, to excite oneself, to dread, fear, stand in awe, be afraid, to fear, be afraid, be in awe, stand in awe. So you see that it's different. All right, so it's different. So Gara and Gawar is different. All right, Gara is talking about, you know, a foreign Israelite, all right, that may have conceded rights, you know, or sojourner. And when you go in the scriptures, what does it say about a sojourner? Let's go from there. I want to go to the book of, let's see. Let's go to Deuteronomy 23. Matter of fact, before I go to Deuteronomy 23, I got a couple of these. Oh, matter of fact, let's go to Leviticus. Leviticus 19. We're gonna go down to about the 33rd verse. I'm gonna read. Let's go to that. Okay. So Leviticus 19:33 says, "And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him. But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt, Mizraim. I am Yahweh your power." So this is talking about, all right, one that is a stranger and sojourning among the children of Israel. All right, it says to not vex him, right? And it says let him be as one born among you, all right, and love him, right, as thyself. So, excuse me. Let's deal with the word stranger here. And see if we get the same word. Is it Gara or is it Gawar? All right. Hold on. The right one. Go with 33 so the word stranger in 33 it's the same word, Gara, or it's a compound word too, by the way. So I may be pronouncing it wrong. Maybe just Gar and dropping the A on the end of the Ra, because it's a G-A and the R-A when you know the Hebrew. So Ga, Ra, and it's a compound word because it's a symbol up under it. It says the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. Sojourner, temporary inhabitant of a newcomer lacking inherited rights, of foreigners in Israel, though conceded rights. So it's the same thing. All right, it's the same thing. All right, and this is something that people get tripped up off on because they don't look up words, and they think that it's talking about an actual person that's not an Israelite. And when you dig deeper and you actually go into the scriptures and look up the words, more importantly, you can clearly see it's not talking about actual stranger that is a Gentile. Exodus 12:48. It says, "When a stranger shall sojourn with thee and will keep the Passover to Yahweh, let all his males be circumcised, and then let him come near and keep it. And he shall be as one that is born in the land. for no uncircumcised person shall eat thereof. Now, in this precept, the word stranger, right? Because who was told to keep the Passover first and foremost? Let's deal with that. All right, it would be the children of Israel. All right, the children of Israel. The same word there, the same word in the Hebrew. You have the word stranger there in the same word, as you can see. All right, so it's still pertaining to an Israelite or Israelite foreigner. All right, there's no mixing of the bloodlines as far as um, excuse me. There's no mixing of the bloodlines as far as you know trying to slide someone that's of another nation in there to receive you know the rights of an actual Israelite, though they're not an Israelite. Basically a Gentile coming in there and trying to get rights it's like he's an Israelite. No, it's not going to happen. You have to be an actual Israelite. All right, like Paul said, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, right? And this is rather the Gentiles, which are Israelite foreigners, when you go into the New Testament. The reason why it's such a controversy among people that don't have the understanding, or whom the Lord is not dealing with, right? Whom the Spirit is not dealing with, they get tripped up and caught up because they think it means one thing, but it's actually saying something else because they haven't looked it up or studied, the scriptures. All right, and that's how they get caught up and tripped up in that, because they don't study the scriptures. Now let's go to a precept. I'm gonna go to a precept that has a different uh if I just go back, we'll go to Exodus 29. It has a different word for stranger. So let's go to Exodus 29. About let's start at 32. All right. It says Exodus 29 and starting at verse 32. It says, and Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And this pertaining to the Levites, by the way. Aaron and his sons, all the different Levites that was ordered to keep the priestly duties and everything. This is doing that, or this is talking about that priestly duty or duties that they would have to keep certain things around the tabernacle. It says, and Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. So, it's talking about making an atonement for one's sins. So, I'm going to click on that verse, see the word stranger, because it said, but a stranger shall not eat thereof, because it is holy, or they are holy. So let's go to stranger right here. Excuse me. All right, so the word stranger. All right, let me see. The word stranger there is different. Yeah, I know this is so you have Zawar, or Zawayar, Zawayar, or is Zawara, yeah, Zawara, or Zawar. It says, to be strange, be a stranger, become strange, or become a strange, I'm sorry. A strange, another stranger, foreigner, an enemy, loathsome of bread, strange woman, prostitute, harlot. Be estranged, to be a stranger, be one alienated. So this is someone that's cast out, because when you're alienated, you cast out, and you would cast out a heathen, right? So it's not talking about casting out an Israelite, of course. It's talking about an actual stranger. All right, there's another one too, which I want to get. All right, let's get another one. What it says. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10. Let's go to Deuteronomy 10. Deuteronomy 10 and verse 19. Uh-oh. I can't click on it unless you want to go to the Strongs. Deuteronomy 10 and 19, it says, love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Mizraim, right? Now, let's see what the word there for stranger. Same word, you get the word gar. All right, gar. And we know what it means. All right, a sojourner, basically, an Israelite foreigner with conceded rights. All right. So let's go from there. Did I go to the? Yeah, I think I went to the other one too as well. I think I went to the Exodus 29. Yeah, I just came from that one, so we know it's not talking about that one. That's a different stranger. We know that. Let's go to. Here we go. Deuteronomy 23 and 19. And this is dealing with usury. All right. It says Deuteronomy 23 and 19. You're just gonna see what the word strangers, um, what the word is in this particular precept. Deuteronomy 23 and 19. It says, "Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of victuals, usury of anything that is lent upon usury. Unto a stranger thou mayest lend upon usury, but unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, that Yahweh thy power may bless thee, and all that thou settest thine hand to in the land whither thou goest to possess it." So, verse 20 has the word stranger. So you can use or lend usury unto a stranger, right? But not an actual Israelite. All right. So let's see what this one's talking about. Now it's a different word right here. Excuse me. And this word right here is Nakari, and it says foreign, alien, foreigner, foreign woman, harlot, unknown, unfamiliar. So this is pretty much the same as the word gawar. All right, actual stranger. All right, actual Gentile. All right, and the word what was that? Zawar. All right, Zawar and Nakari pretty much means the same. All right, actual foreigner, actual alien, an actual unfamiliar or unknown person that is not of the seed or lineage of the nation of Israel. All right, so it's different. All right, that's why we know that the strangers in Isaiah the 14th chapter is talking about the Israelite foreigners. All right, Gar, a person that is of Israelite stock and has conceded rights. All right, excuse me. All right, so and we know that according to Deuteronomy the 32nd chapter in the 8th verse, that the Heavenly Father gave each nation their inheritance. We didn't share inheritance with other nations. Each nation was given their inheritance. Let's get that. So why would we share our inheritance? That makes no sense, man. Deuteronomy 32 and 8 says, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. Yeah, he gave them their inheritance. All right, he gave them their own inheritance, and we had our own inheritance among us Israelites, among the 12 tribes. Okay, even among the tribes, one of the actual only tribe that didn't actually get a set inheritance was the tribe of Levi because they was a priest. All right, and their sole purpose was to, continue and perform the priestly duties. But they was Israelites, so everything that belonged to the nation of Israel, they had rights to it because they were Israelites. All right, as far as the Levites go, but an actual stranger, an actual Gentile, they have no rights. Okay. So with that, I'll say I want to say, Lord willing, this video is edifying, and until next time, Shalom.